Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a corporate edition of the Under the Ring podcast.
Good day,
Mr. Kenny, Mr. Kenny, if you don't mind, if you please do the honors.
You're really going to leave it up to the NWO to introduce folks. You're definitely not corporate.
Hey, he knows his job.
Boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to the Under the Ring podcast, the most electrifying podcast in sports entertainment. I am your boy, the Kendango Raleigh. Yeah. I am your boy that likes to curse, smoke, drink, cause most of the ruckus here on the podcast. I'm not going to lie, I am the troublemaker, but guess what, folks? You fucking love it. You goddamn love it, because that's what we do. We start trouble here. Coming to us from North Augusta, South Carolina, he is our producer. He is the man dressed like he is going to court right now. Give it up for Pixar Villager number 4. From
Keep it coming. Keep it coming.
Listen, because that animated picture you put of yourself, that shit had me crying. You did look like a Pixar Villager. You didn't even look like you were.
I didn't even do that shit. I think it was Justin that did that for me.
That was fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
But he is the man, the myth, the legend, the big baby mango. Give it up for Mongo, ladies and gentlemen.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? It's me, it's GREG. Boys, we got 2 shows to predict tonight.
Oh, boy.
Which means that this man right here is going to win gold on Saturday and lose it on Sunday, like I always do. Ready to get that on the road.
Here's the bullshit. I didn't even announce that I was a tag champ. That's how sure. Like, you feel like one of y'all in the moment just said, fuck. Yeah, we really did. We got the memo and we were like, you know what? Fuck Greg and his memo. We don't give a fuck about this.
Wear a wrestling t-shirt, and as the leader of all wrestling t-shirts, known to man, that's like 90% of my wardrobe. So I just pick a shirt.
And Mongo decided to go all fucking trips on us.
Right.
Nowhere, all broke ass, come out here looking like a broke ass Anthony Ogogo. But
and his dog is trying to get his attention.
Pretty much. Copper's gonna get that attention.
Always is.
Coming to us from Louisville, Kentucky. He is, as he said, the wrestling t-shirt leader of the group. That is not a lie right there. That he is also the meme god, Maurice's baby daddy. Give it up for my boy, Matty Reigns.
What is up, good people? I took a week off because I was getting candy. That's all that needs to be known about that. I am back. I am ready to talk about some wrestling. I'm ready to talk about people asking for more money than they should be asking for on the indies, but let's get to it. I'm ready.
Well, let's get into some news. I guess one of the major news for wrestling that we've had this week is my boy, a person that when we do fantasy wrestling and stuff, he's literally my number 1 draft pick anytime we do a little fantasy wrestling draft with amongst ourselves, to the point where he's pretty much my alter ego in the group. My boy Andrade is all elite.
Yeah.
He has signed with AEW. Now, with Andrade being signed to AEW, 2 things crossed my mind. One thing is, I'm not too sure about Hangman getting the push anymore to be the next champion.
Sure.
Second thing that I'm thinking is, since AEW is big on having multiple belts being held by the champion, Andrade is also about to fight Kenny Omega for the AAA belt in July. I don't hold it against AEW for making Andrade a double champion. I can see Andrade beating Kenny Omega for the AAA belt and the AEW title. Mongo Ross with the top. Mongo look. You know what? He does look like a broke ass JR. Broke ass JR. Bootleg ass JBL. Looking like Arn Anderson when he's hanging out with the Nightmare Family. I only say that because I love you.
You gotta do the podcast with 2/3 of the NWL.
I could have dressed like QT Marshall. His fucking bowling shirt. It's like a ripoff of Tony Soprano.
He looks like a Doug. No, he looks like a ripoff of Doug Heffernan. That's what he looks like.
Well, with Almas, going back to what I was saying, with Almas being signed to All Elite, I'm not too sure about Hangman being the next person up to take that belt from Omega anymore.
That man, it came down to what I read is it came down to him having creative control for certain matches. So if he loses, he's making sure he ain't looking like a bitch.
That might not actually be true.
Oh, thank you.
A report came out today. I'm trying to see if I can verify it. That was actually false.
Good.
But you know what? Hold on. You know what? I just thought about it. Hangman is still going to be the one to beat Omega, because you need that face to beat Omega, who is the heel. And then you want that next heel to get that heat. You got to
be Almas.
I'm sorry, Andrade. Sorry, it's a bad habit. Keep calling him Almas.
Andrade.
El ídolo.
Andrade does not have any creative control.
I didn't feel like he need. I'm like, they're not gonna fuck you over. This ain't WWE.
And that's the thing. WWE had this guy. You had the star. You were looking for your next Eddie Guerrero.
He was everything and more.
There it is, which is why AEW paired his ass with Eddie's wife, Vicky.
Exactly.
Which is exactly why AEW. If they do this right, I will take back a lot of bad things that I have said about AEW. Not everything, because they have done some dumb shit. But I will take back a lot of bad things if they do this right.
He needs to at least beat Kenny Omega for that AAA title. And He needs to at least be the TNT champion after that. Not instantly, but after that. He needs to be a double champion walking around with the TNT title and the AAA title.
Exactly. And there you go, Mongo. You good. No, there you go. Mm-hmm. There you go. But if he's going to have the TNT title, then they're going to have to get it off of Miro.
Right.
They're going to have to get it off of Miro, because him versus Miro, it'll be a good match for us wrestling fans, but not a good match story-wise. Like, they need a story. So it would have... And if that's the case, Miro, you about to lose that belt to Jungle Boy.
He gotta lose it to some...
He would have to lose
someone
to a super
underdog.
Jungle Boy.
Yeah.
Jungle Boy. It would have to be, because as much as we would like Jungle Boy to win, to get his shine with Kenny Omega, we know he's not beating Kenny Omega for the title.
Exactly.
He's not beating Kenny Omega for the title. He's going to get enough wins and enough pushes to where he gets there, but he's not beating him for the title.
Right.
Now, he can beat Miro for the title. And with that being said, now you have your super babyface that Andrade can fucking destroy and take that belt. And you got Vicky talking shit for him. And if it works out correctly, you can have a fucking stable with Andrade, Nyla. You can have a stable with them two. You can build somebody else with them.
Right.
Hell, give them Ricky Starks.
He got nothing better to do since he's out. He's basically injured. They might as well have him just be out there talking shit.
Right. Give him Ricky Starks. Like WWE had their next Eddie with Andrade. They had that. And NXT knew how to build up to it. They knew how to build the type of character that he was. The problem is that we say it all the time. Main roster does not pay attention to NXT. Because if they did, we wouldn't have so many failed call-ups. We wouldn't have so many failed call. Right now, it seems like the only people that get done right on call-ups are women.
I wouldn't even say that, really. I mean, what the hell is I doing with Rhea Ripley? You know?
What the hell are they doing with her? She's at least champion.
She's a champion, but, I mean, she's a champion that's lost multiple times to Nikki Cross, who, when she beats her or Charlotte, it's, wow, they lost to the loser Nikki Cross. Like, it's not at all
the same Nikki Cross.
It's not at all good. It's not good for Nikki, and it's not good for Rhea. Because it's not building anything. Nikki has nothing to do with their match. And even if she is added to it at Hell in a Cell, she'll be able to take the pin, you know? So
my thing with Nikki is, once again, main roster does not pay attention to NXT. Nikki put on a fucking hell of a match with Asuka. Nikki put on a hell of a match with Ember.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Like, Nikki at one point we thought was going to actually win the championship. And they just don't pay attention. They don't pay attention. And that's what happened with Andrade. And now AEW has a chance to be remarkably successful. Oh, I got an idea. What if this happens? What if, because we know Omega is Omega and Don Callis is Don Callis, let's say Andrade does beat Omega, right?
All right.
He beats him for one of the Impact titles. Think about the talent that's over in the Impact.
I agree, but someone in Impact needs to win that belt.
They need to.
It's like it has to be someone in Impact. They have gotten nothing really except like they've got some pay-per-view buys, which is good, but like storyline wise, they look like a bunch of punks when it comes to that world title.
And why do they keep getting, like, besides El Phantasmo, who we all knew from Bullet Club, why do they keep getting what? New Japan has been giving them the shit end of the stick with the people that they've sent over. Besides Finjuice and probably El Phantasmo, and that one time Kenta appeared, New Japan has been giving AEW and them fucking nobodies.
I mean, so the thing about Satoshi Kojima, so Kenny's talking about we're getting to AEW or to Impact's Against All Odds this weekend, Saturday, and Joe Doring of Violent by Design is going to face New Japan's Satoshi Kojima, who's a legend in New Japan. The problem
pretty much JBL.
Yeah, he is. He hits like a motherfucker, and he's got a giant ass right arm that he clotheslines you with. He's pretty good, and he's a former IWGP heavyweight champion.
Like he was the first double champ or something like that.
Yeah, All Japan's Triple Crown champion. He held both those companies' titles at the same time. Like he's a legend. So that'll be a good match. But where do you go from there? Where do you go from there?
He's a legend.
It's kind of like, yeah, he's a legend.
A legend. That's cool. Legends are great. Every sport needs legends.
Also,
right now we need right nows.
So when it comes to stuff like this, I saw a lot of people comparing it to when NXT got Juice and Thunder Liger to fight Tyler Breeze. back in the early days of NXT?
No.
The difference being that was early NXT, which really could use some extra shine with someone like Juice and Thunder Liger, and it was to help build up Tyler Breeze,
Right.
Who was a homegrown talent. This is Impact, who has been around for 20 years. Trying to build up.
You say that Impact has been around for 20 years.
Trying to build up Joe Doring, who is almost 40 and is not someone they're trying to build up fresh from their home. Like it's very different.
And I'm gonna be honest, we knew who the fuck Jushin Thunder Liger was.
That too. Jushin Thunder Liger was a name that any wrestling fan knew,
right?
Because we saw Jushin Thunder Liger in America,
right?
Kojima, I think we saw a few times in the U.S., but not a lot.
And
now,
if it was,
to the point where like no one remembers it.
Old WCW.
Mm-hmm.
No one's remembering.
Kind of like what's his name that Mox fought for the U.S. title?
Exactly.
Like, yeah, he was on WCW back in the day. Like, that's cool, man. That's awesome. What does that mean for me? What does that do?
Right, like Jushin actually made a name for himself because he actually became cruiserweight champ, if I'm not mistaken, and he had great matches with fucking Eddie Guerrero, Chris Jericho, and shit like that. We knew him. His ass was on television.
It would have been like if Tyler Breeze fought Ultimate Dragon.
Right, like we knew who the fuck that is.
That's the big thing. Is he became a star in the U.S.
Copper loves you, boy.
Yeah, loves it. Yeah, and I tolerate him.
Damn.
Let's see. So I don't know. We'll get into that. I guess I don't know, man. I think it has to be an Impact guy to win one of those belts back, both of them back, because Impact can't have any more outsiders win their belts. I don't think it'll be good for them.
We've been saying that for like the past 3 years.
I do want to talk about Impact's major title match that happened last week, but we'll get into that after the news.
Hey! Damn.
What happened? What? We can't have more than one white guy on the podcast at a time? What? That's what the fuck happens? What the fuck is going on? Like, Justin hops on, Mongo hops off?
I've replaced Greg. There can only be one fat white guy on this podcast.
Ladies and gentlemen, joining us from the dirty south, our boy Otis Luchasaurus.
What's going on, boys? What's going on?
We were talking about the news of Andrade going to AEW, and I brought up the fact that maybe Andrade wins one of Impact's titles, and Mongo is like, no, thank you. It needs to be an Impact person. I agree. It does need to be an Impact person. Who though? That's the thing.
Who though's the question, right? I mean,
of course, I guess Moose is the obvious.
I think it's Samoa Joe.
It's either Moose or a person that hasn't been signed yet. Technically, that's signed but unsigned, like Samoa.
Right. Yeah, I really think it's going to be somebody that's unsigned. I think that's the move.
It's Cutler.
I was gonna say, what if it ended up being like Steve Cutler or somebody?
Cutler. I mean, that would establish him. I mean, he goes and beats Kenny for the title.
It's Cutler.
I mean, that puts you over pretty big, but like, I assume it would have to be a really huge name. I think it'd have to be Joe. Who else in that crop? I mean, I don't think they're getting Braun. I don't think they're getting Alistair.
But they keep showing Daniel Bryan in the fucking Slammiversary thing.
But I mean, if you watch the Slammiversary thing, they show everybody. I mean, they've even got a reference to Dream in there. They got a little sign on there. It says Dream, and I mean, they are literally showing. And but you know what? That's what Impact did last year for right around this time when they were teasing the Good Brothers, Matt Cardona, Heath Slater. Like they teased all of those people.
They
also teased like 17 other dudes that didn't end up with them.
They used WWE's releases against them. It's like, well, you released all these people, so we're going to just promote all of them.
That is so smart on Impact's part, because here's why: as a fan, right, Kenny, like me and you, as a fan, I have to watch Slammiversary,
Right?
Because I need to know how many of these dudes really are showing up tonight. Is it all of them? Is it one of them? Is it none of them? Is it 13 of the 30 that they got released? I mean, and that to me is the biggest part of why. I mean, Impact's buys are doing better now than ever, right? Because of the partnership with AEW, with Kenny Omega. I mean, at the end of the day, it's helping Impact on pay-per-view buys. Don't tell me that Impact Slammiversary pay-per-view buys won't be through the roof to see if Samoa Joe, Dream, Daniel Bryan, any of those guys that are in that first, the Iconics. I mean, all the people that got released in that first crop of folks are eligible. And it's the same thing for All Out, man. All Out's going to have the exact same thing because WWE messed up twice in 1 year. They did that first batch of releases that allowed everybody to be on Slammiversary. This second group of releases, they had waited one more week, they couldn't have been on All Out. If they'd have waited one more week, they couldn't have been on Slammiversary.
Right.
All they had to do was wait one more week, and they screw Impact and they screw AEW twice in 1 year.
But they didn't.
Because Braun's ass going to be on one of them shows.
Hey, man, that music going to hit at the end of All Out.
You're going to have some white
let's be real. Let's be real. Impact can't afford Braun's big ass payday.
No.
No, because he's asking for $40,006 zillion.
Motherfucker's asking for $5. He's asking indie promotions 5 figures.
He's trying to bankrupt indie promotions.
Let me just say, as far as who should beat Omega, Moose.
If it ain't Moose, it's gonna be Sammy.
I do want Moose for what it's worth.
If it's not Moose, I want it to be Sammy because I think both of those guys deserve it. And the story they've told for both of them, I'd be happy with either one. I don't want it to be Eddie. It better not be Eddie. And I'm an Eddie fan. That motherfucker better not win that belt.
If I had to make a pick besides, of course, Moose, I would like it to be Trey.
Trey would be cool.
Because especially since Trey never got a belt while being in Impact.
He does need to get his first fucking belt at some point.
Yeah, I mean, is that really the only guy they've kind of, I won't say they've messed him up because he's still very much capable of going and winning a belt, but like in terms of pulling the trigger on him.
I would say they messed him up. I would say they've messed up on Trey.
They messed up on the whole Rascals. Which is why as soon as they left, MSK got the belt.
How you don't put the titles on the Rascals ever is really surprising. Like because they were loved in Impact. Loved. Right. Everyone loved it. That was strange. So yeah, Trey, I can't believe he still hasn't won an X Division championship yet.
Could Trey go win the X Division title, and is Josh Alexander a potential?
I think we're going to get option C this year. I just don't know who it's going to be.
Okay.
Whether it's Josh, whether it's someone that beats Josh, I think option C happens because someone's going to want to challenge Kenny, and then they'll lose. Because option C is, I think, like a pretty low percentage win rate.
Right. Well, I wonder if that's why they would win. Just because it would be kind of like the swerve, like you all expect option C not to work, like it's always not worked, and then all of a sudden it does.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, I think that's probably the best way to pull the trigger is you have maybe, I don't know if it's Moose or if it's Sammy Callahan probably makes the most sense because you have Sammy win that X Division title and then cash it in.
You know what I can see happening?
Option C is the X Division champion is able to vacate his belt for a shot at the world title.
Right.
I think it started with Austin Aries, I think.
Mhm.
And it's been a thing from then on.
Sammy makes a lot of sense because he can come out there with the belt and say, I want a challenge. This belt doesn't mean anything to me. What matters to me is defending Impact's honor, and I'm going to win that title.
I think if they decided to go a absolute left field route with someone from Impact winning the belt back, I can see Don Callis and Kenny Omega being excuse me, being on Impact and running into someone like Crazy Steve backstage. Fucking beating up Crazy Steve. Say, you know what? We're gonna give Crazy Steve a goddamn title shot tonight. And Crazy Steve wound up winning the belt back on a roll up. I can see Impact doing something wild just like that though. I can see them doing something. It's like far fetched, but something wild like that is something that I can see them doing. Hell, they shot somebody.
They ran over somebody, they stabbed somebody, they shot
Somebody ate
ran over
somebody's
somebody
face.
again.
Eddie Edwards does that once a week.
Mickey James got killed by a train.
They brought people back from the dead for weddings.
The hurricane bashed in Cameron Grimes' head with a shovel and buried him.
That's good.
Yeah, stuff happened. Yeah.
Look, I mean, Impact can do something crazy.
Sponsors for tonight. Please sponsor us.
Got a nice refreshing Pepsi.
And I have Coke.
Hey, whichever one of y'all gets to it first.
I got a rock.
Damn. Hey, Rock, sponsor us.
I agree with you, Kenny. I think they are known for being willing to take chances and do crazy stuff. I think this story has to have a big payoff. It has to, right? Like,
it definitely has to, because he pretty much robbed them of their belt and is holding it hostage. It has to be a big payoff. But
I need this to have the biggest payoff. I need them to have the biggest payoff that we've seen in years in wrestling. And I mean, I think it has to be. I mean, odds are we're probably going to be disappointed with how it turns out, because AEW has consistently, all their big payoffs have been nothing. Like, all the big payoffs should be something and it's nothing. So I would love to see it actually turn out good for once and it be a big payoff. Joe seems to be the likeliest one.
I'm telling you, the biggest problem, and I think I've said this millions and millions of times before, the biggest problem was this was rushed. This was 100% rushed. Kenny Omega having both of these belts should not have happened first. It should not have happened. To have the best relationship and equal balance out this merger should have started with the mid card. It should have started probably with the tag team and the mid card.
Right.
That's what it should have started with.
Which I guess it technically did, right?
It technically did with
Finn Juice
Impact in New Japan.
Right.
With Impact in New Japan. But as far as like AEW, it should have started off with the tag team. It really should have. It should have started with tag team or the mid card. Those should have been your biggest champion against your biggest champion. Should not have happened within a 2-month span of the announcement of your merger.
I think Darby would have been fun. The TNT title versus the X Division title.
Exactly. You had Darby the X Division title like Ace Austin.
Right. Or TJP or Josh. I mean, there's so many in that Impact mid card that you could throw in that match, and it's going to be a great match with Darby. Like, let's be honest. Like, Darby's going to put on a great show. And you can trust that whoever their mid card champion is at the time is going to put on a great show. I mean, you've had who's been the last 4 X Division title holders? You've got Rohit, TJP,
Chris Bay, Josh Alexander,
Ace got it for a little bit.
The last 4 recently.
Yeah.
Let's see.
It's Rohit, TJP. Ace Austin, and Josh, right? That's the last 4?
Yeah.
Josh, TJP, Rohit, and then Rohit beat Chris Bay, right? Yeah.
Yeah, so that's your last 5. Any of those 5, I'd watch Darby all day long. They give me a 20-minute match with any of those guys against Darby, and I'm happy. Or any of those guys in Miro. I mean,
right. Honestly, but the thing, like I said, the thing about it is you rush the 2 top guys should not have been the face-off right away. This match should have happened if you wanted to build it the way they've been doing it. Like we said, the first. How long has Kenny Omega had the Impact titles now?
Like 4 months.
It's been 4 months,
right?
No, 4 months. No, it's not happening that long.
It's been at least 3. It has to have been at least 3.
Was it that Hard to Kill? No, that was the. Never mind. That was the. That was that.
He's had it for 43 days, so it's not even.
No, okay.
April 25th.
I was thinking Hard to Kill.
Oh, so he hasn't had it a full 2 months.
Nope. It's felt long as fuck, but yeah, it's only been 43 days.
Okay, but here's the thing. This merger has only been 43 days. Just about. This merger. Okay, if
Hard to Kill was in January. Yeah.
That's when it started, right? That was our first.
That's when Kenny first showed up. I think was Hard to Kill. And
yes. It was like 2 weeks before Hard to Kill, right? Because we thought we were getting Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin with Rich Swann, right?
Yeah.
Right.
And then Alex Shelley got COVID, and then he couldn't come back because he's got a full-time job.
That man won a 4K.
Hey, man.
Hey, man.
I don't blame him.
Those benefits, man. But yeah, so I think that's where I was thinking. It's been like 4 months, I guess, since the merger. Well, I guess 5 months since the merger happened. 5 full months.
5 months since the merger happened, and
it took them 2 months to get to Kenny winning the title.
Champion versus champion.
Right.
Come on, that's too soon. The champion versus champions match should be happening at Slammiversary.
I agree. Though I think maybe is that where we're getting Impact winning it back? Is it Slammiversary?
But winning it back, whether it's winning it back or not, it shouldn't have happened. Whether it was Kenny taking it for the first time or whoever or whatever, like I still say it was rushed. It was rushed.
Oh, I think so, and I think that's why the payoff has to be huge to make up for the fact that they rushed it.
And you're absolutely right. It has to be somebody who is one of the new signings. It has to be because that person is, and that person has to be honestly Samoa Joe. You have the TNA legend, Impact legend, come back home to Impact to get the belt back.
I think that's the right call.
You can't have anyone else who signs on that same time frame or whatever come in and take the belt. If you're going to go that route, it has to be Samoa Joe.
Kind of going off of what you said a minute ago, Kenny, about like what could have been with this partnership. I wouldn't have mind seeing Ethan Page show up in AEW, win their mid-card title, and us get Ethan Page versus Josh Alexander for the 2 mid-card titles. I think that's a hell of a story.
Oh yeah,
that's a story I would illegally stream for. I was going to say pay for, but
we had Under the Ring podcast United Piracy.
I mean, pay for it. No, I paid for Hard to Kill, but other ones I haven't. You know,
I paid for a show 5 months ago. It's fine.
Listen. We at Under the Ring do not condone piracy, but if you got a hookup for a link, drop it in the chat.
Because times is rough, Daddy.
think I still got like a $25 credit on Fight TV that I can use at some point.
I'm saying,
Before we
you
get
gotta hook up and let a nigga know. Let a nigga know. That's just...
So, did you guys watch the TJP Josh Alexander match?
Yes, I did. I watched every last minute of that match.
Let's talk about that. What did y'all think of that?
Absolutely beautiful masterpiece of two people who enjoy the sport of wrestling putting on a show. Absolutely beautiful. The counter moves after counter move, the way that Josh Alexander did that counter with TJP, instead of Josh Alexander had TJP in a like a leg lock with his head. And usually you can do a handstand out of that, and most people get out of it. When TJP went to do a handstand, Josh Alexander did a short pile driver to stop that shit. Okay, like, absolutely, that was a wrestling match. It had, and they actually told a story in the ring. That's one of the few times where if you did not know what the hell was going on, you found out during that match because of what the story was being told. I absolutely enjoyed that match. That match was an A+.
Mm-hmm.
A+.
Yeah, no, I had never seen anyone do that before. That little like short pile driver he did, I've never seen that ever. And that's what I kind of like. That's what I expect out of these guys is like a little ingenuity. They both have great mat games. And going into this, and they said, yeah, it's going to be an hour-long Iron Man match. It's going to be great. And there were so many reports saying this is going to be match of the year candidate. It's coming. Yeah. It's going to be match of the year candidate. And you're like,
definitely was.
I hope it lives up to the hype because Impact needs it to live up to the hype. And God, they did not disappoint.
Not one bit. Not one bit. And you knew it was a good match. The wrestlers came out from the locker room to start watching the shit. Okay, people was coming out from the locker room to watch this match. And I like the fact that it went into sudden overtime with a score of 1-1.
Mm-hmm. They had to fight for every single point.
TJP getting that literal last second pin was crazy. Had me in the chat like, God damn it, about to lose points. God damn, Josh Alexander's about to lose this shit. Fucking TJP's about to win. I'm going fucking nuts in the chat like, sorry guys, I fucked up. I should have started this motherfucker. Because I thought TJP was going to, I did not think TJP was going to get that last second pin. Especially after Josh kicked out of everything else that TJP did. Like, phenomenal match.
That's
followed up by a damn good Impact show.
Yeah,
right.
And you know what? That was 3 hours of wrestling, boys. That was an episode of Raw. Went by quick.
Yeah, but
Followed
Impact
up by a damn good fucking show.
It went by fast,
Impact,
man.
look, Impact does it better than anybody else though when they
Right.
do those shows because they don't feel 3 hours. Raw is it's a slog to watch a whole episode of Raw. Like, it feels like it's paced so poorly. Like, there's
I will
there's
give
a
Raw
lot of
credit this week.
downtime.
I will give Raw credit this week for starting off with at least some action.
Right. But, like, there's been some weeks, man, where we've gotten
Nothing. For
3
45
matches.
minutes.
You'll get like 4 matches and out of those 4 matches, you're getting basically 2 hours, an hour and a half worth of freaking promos.
Well, and then it's either that, Matt, or you and I have talked about this before that, like, they'll have a match with like Randy Orton and Kofi that goes through 17 commercial breaks.
Right.
And I'm like, why are y'all still fighting? Like, I'm tired watching y'all fight.
Right. I'll get up
I'm
and go to the
exhausted.
bathroom. Like, I know this match will be over by the time I get done. And I come out like, damn, y'all still fighting?
And then there's like 3 more commercial breaks before they finish. And I'm like, y'all don't need like they take an unnecessary. It almost feels like they let some of these matches go longer because they don't know what to do with the time.
They be having Iron Man matches on Raw for no damn reason.
But it's not an Iron Man match. You don't get any pins. You just get all flawless finishes. And I'll tell you the one that annoys me is like they had like, was it Elias? Somebody go for like 30 minutes. Oh, Damian Priest. It was Elias and Damian Priest. And it went like 30 minutes. We went through 4 commercial breaks. I don't think I'm exaggerating. I think it was 4 commercial breaks for a Damian Priest and a
Because you saw me go into the chat like this, Damian Priest should have been one.
And like 5 minutes later, he wins. Me and Matt were like, okay, well, there it is. But
boy, like it's about time. Thank you.
Like Damian Priest and Elias should not be going 30 minutes. Like it just shouldn't. And it really was probably more like a 16-minute match, but it was so poorly paced that it felt so much longer. And going through 3 commercial breaks or whatever it is, Raw just does a terrible job of pacing.
Timing.
Why did the match happen? What? Who cares?
We don't even know anymore because it's went on for so long. We don't even care about the matches happening. We just want it all.
Listen, like they have a bad habit of doing commercial breaks during some of the terrible. Well, I shouldn't say terrible. Some of the not so coordinated women's matches too. Like some of the women's matches that they've had, like with Dana Brooke, has gone to fucking commercial. And I'm like, why are we still on a fucking commercial break with Dana Brooke on my little screen?
Right.
What the fuck are we doing here? I think you're absolutely correct, Justin. It has everything to do with they don't know what to do in between time anymore.
There's a match
they don't know what to do.
That happened with that we were like, why the fuck is this going to commercial?
I think it was Randy Orton and Xavier Woods or something.
No, it was something that was like a guy that was someone that was just always a jobber, and it was like, why?
I know we saw a commercial break. I know we saw a commercial break during Angel Garza Drew Gulak match.
That was it.
Yeah,
that was it.
That's another one. Yeah, but there was that Randy Xavier match that went like 4 commercial breaks too. Like that, but it happens every week now, so like it is hard to keep up with which ones you just get tired of seeing. It's every week.
A fucking commercial break during Humberto and goddamn Ricochet this week.
Yes, what I mean, finish that.
I didn't even care about that match because one, it had no break. I didn't care about that match because one, it didn't have financial implications on it, so I don't even know who fucking won that match.
Nope. And honestly, man, I don't care. Like they don't have me invested enough in that.
That too. It's like I don't care about either one of y'all anymore.
I don't care about Humberto. I don't care about Ricochet. And I mean, honestly, like Sheamus was having such a great run. This has derailed his run, having to deal with those two.
Because he's just facing a whole bunch of ass.
And then
this is ass after ass.
I'm sorry. Humberto, people love talking about Nia being dangerous. Humberto is dangerous to himself and others.
Humberto dies almost every other match.
Bro,
then he killed Sheamus's face.
Yeah.
He's the one that broke Sheamus' nose with a fall.
Yeah. It's just, but why is he in the mid-card title picture? Why are we? I mean, honestly,
and then on top of that, they're
because
like
for some reason, Justin, sorry to cut you off, Matt, to answer that question.
Right.
For some reason, Vince believes Humberto is the next Eddie instead of what he had in Andrade.
Why is Damian Priest not being pushed as the next star? Why is he not the guy in line? Like, what's he even doing now?
He was at NXT last night tweeting live.
Well, the bad part about it is even with them two, they still got 2 packs of ass in Mansoor. Well, they're trying to get us with him, and it's like I don't even care about the U.S. title now.
No,
right.
I don't.
You got Mansoor, and now Ali's got beef with Mansoor.
Mm-hmm. You got Ali.
They're fighting over who looks more who
like
they look alike
with the Indian Alliance, and then you got Humberto and Ricochet. It's just the United Nations going after him for his title.
It's just so bad, man. Like I just don't even care. But it goes back to I know back to the larger point that we were trying to make is the Impact does the exact opposite of that. It can take a 3-hour show, make it feel like you've watched an hour of wrestling. and in a good way. I feel like I've consumed a lot of wrestling, but also in a like I want more. Like it's 3 hours that I've spent watching it. It feels like an hour, and it makes me want 2 more hours of what I've just watched.
Exactly.
Because what they've done is they've managed to break up their time so that way they can focus on each section. Like I think one of us mentioned it before about how Impact is one of the few companies that has several divisions within itself. It has its top tier, it has its top mid card tier, it has its bottom mid card tier, and then it has its women's tier, and then also it has its tag team tier. And what Impact manages to do is during their time frames, it's 2 hours. So they'll spend a good 15 minutes on their top tier, a good 15 minutes on that second tier. They'll spend a good amount of time on each tier so that way you can get vested into each tier to know what the hell is going on.
And they blur the lines between the tiers sometimes. And what I mean by that is like you'll have Moose versus Jake something. Well, Moose is clearly their top tier, right? And Jake something is really in that bottom mid card tier.
Right.
But they'll go out and put on a great match and you're like, is Jake something? Is he
maybe?
is he like, what is this? Because you know Moose isn't going down, but like you're like, this could be another top tier guy. But that's how they keep things going, is you have a situation where like now I'm invested in what Jake something does.
Right. Like
So-
I want to see him move up the ranks now because I think that he can do something because of what the match that he's put on with that top tier competitor.
Right. And they do it so often where like Chris Bay will fight Rich Swann. And like I know Chris Bay is not winning that title from Rich Swann. But now now Chris Bay versus TJP is going to tear the house down for the X Division title.
Right.
And it's believable that either guy could win. You know, and
Either guy should win.
Right.
Right.
And it's so seamless. And so that's the thing, man. Like I genuinely love watching Impact for that reason. It's because every single match, for the most part, there feels like there's a purpose to it. Like somebody is going to benefit from winning this match. Somebody's going to even benefit from losing. Like that Jake something match. When he lost, he came out of that match looking like a brand new wrestler.
He came out that match with us spending 15 minutes talking about him on this podcast.
Yep. Yeah, he did.
But Greg, I mean, that's another reason. Like when Greg has talked about it before, when people leave Impact, they've got somebody else to shift into that position.
Always.
Because they built them.
And I think they have such a great grasp on how you handle backstage segments. Like Keno was talking about, every division has their own little subdivision. The women's division has like 5 backstage segments a week, it feels like, along with the matches. And the reason is, you get a lot of tag team matches to kind of keep people on TV, but you have 4 or 5 stories going on within the women's division at all times.
And they know how to make you realize, like, Impact doesn't have a lot of women in their division.
No, not really.
They probably have about maybe 7, 8, if that. Okay, in their entire division.
Well, one of them's working double duty. one of them's 2 people.
Right, and the other one is a part-time vet. Right, like so. They during those 5 segments, they'll highlight damn near every female. And you'll get a storyline regarding every female, whether it be some personal shit, whether it be some title implications, whether it just be, me and you got a beef, whatever it is. They'll get every female on TV.
Right.
Well,
You might not get Tennille Dashwood in the ring every week, but you will get her like little backstage show segment where she just pisses off like 2 people, and that's it. And then you don't. And the thing that Impact does is you don't have to follow that up the same night. Raw will do that, and then all right, I'll see you in the ring, and then like we'll see him in the ring, and then we'll have a segment with them after that, and you spend an hour on this stuff, and that's how you spend too much time on 2 women and not the rest of your roster.
Also, Raw has to stop showing replays of what just happened.
Yeah, they kill so much time doing that. It's like, well, check this out of what happened at 8:00. It's like,
Right,
I was watching.
Right. They gotta stop doing that. Like at some point you stop doing that because it's making us bored for the outcome. Like if let's say the main event for Raw is Drew versus Kofi. We don't need to see the argument Drew and Kofi had at 8:04 over and over and over again until the fucking match happens. Before every commercial break. But before we go, let's show you what happened earlier between Drew and Kofi backstage. Like, I don't need to see that 800 times.
Man, it's the best.
Yeah.
It's
the
the
knockout
best.
division it really is hands down. Hands down.
Every company, that's how you do it.
Well, I mean,
That's it. There's the blueprint.
I think the biggest thing for me when I realized how good this knockout division was, I'm a big Jordynne Grace fan. I think everybody knows that here. She's might be my favorite women's wrestler right now. Specifically, if you add the caveat of women's wrestler that doesn't necessarily have a title or a singles title right now, she's definitely my favorite. Because Deanna's right up there with her. I'll be honest. It's one of those two. But I thought like she was putting on great matches with Deanna. I thought we were getting a payoff of Jordan's going to go win that title. And then all of a sudden, like they moved her back, put her in a tag team with Jazz. That was real weird for a while. They pulled her back again, put her in a tag team with somebody else. They win the titles, they lose it right back. But I still come out of it thinking, still love Jordynne Grace. Yeah, whenever she's ready, she's going to go win that big title again. Like she hasn't gone backwards in any of that. Like she's never really gone backwards.
But also, it has served a purpose because all those losses have gotten to her.
Right.
Like now we're probably about to say heel turn at her, but like everything, every loss, every segment matters for everybody on that roster.
It's they're playing chess and everybody else's women's division is playing checkers.
And that's why, like, we're talking about who we want to see coming out of this, this group at Slammiversary, or, wherever they can. I want to see that women's division get bigger. Because it will Iconics, yeah. And whenever her contracts, that 90-day clause is up, Ruby Riott. Like I want them in the knockouts division.
I need Ruby as a face because WWE tried so hard to make her a heel on the main roster. What was she great at in NXT?
Underdog face.
Here's the thing.
Put her in there.
Here's the thing with Ruby.
Go ahead.
With Ruby, she needs a new image if she comes to Impact because I feel it's a little too close to Rosemary. It's not exactly Rosemary as far as like the death and the decay and shit like that, but as far as like the rock image of it, kind of, I feel that they're a little too similar.
I would say she's more maybe like Wild, the punky kind of that kind of thing.
Maybe if Impact stops making fucking Ruby pale as shit, maybe that'll be it. Stop making her put that pale ass makeup on. That could be it too. So, but I think Ruby in Impact, yeah.
Well, I assume she goes back to the Heidi Love. Was it Heidi Lovelace?
Heidi Lovelace.
Yeah. I assume she goes back to that moniker, which she wasn't as punk rock with that, right? If I'm not mistaken.
That's just her. That's just her.
I mean, that right. a lot, not really, but also like she's got a shit ton of tattoos and stuff done between then and now. Like
that's fair. Yeah.
It's like she looks a lot different now than she did when she was Heidi Lovelace.
Right. But I'd like to see the Iconics come in and go straight after the tag titles.
Yes.
They should win those pretty easily. I think Ruby, Heidi Lovelace should come in. I'd love to see her as the underdog face to somebody like Jordan. If Jordan's got the title at that point. I think that's Ruby's best work is as a face, and people kind of forget that because we've had, what is it, like 2 years now of people of WB trying to force her on us as a heel, and she wasn't very good as a heel. When they first came up,
women's division in AEW does need more women.
Yeah,
Ruby
Ruby
and came up.
I think I would prefer that. How everybody wants Ruby in Impact. I think I would prefer Ruby in AEW. I think she would benefit a lot more, and that division would benefit a lot more. That's good.
Yeah, I'd like to see Ruby as the underdog face to Britt. I could enjoy that story. That could be a fun story because I think Britt's good enough as a heel, and Ruby's obviously good enough as a face. But yeah, I think the Riot Squad was heel when they first came up because they did the first 4 weeks of them coming up. It was them in catering destroying things, and it was really stupid.
But I'm just saying the last little run that her and Liv have. Wasn't that a face?
It was, but I'm talking about like she was better as a singles face
then,
underdog heel. I mean underdog face.
When they split them up, they try to make Riot a heel. They had her turn on Liv, and it's just like it didn't work, and it didn't work partly because the story was terrible, partly because Ruby's just fun to cheer, just fun to get behind, man. Like really, she really was great in NXT. I can't remember what was it with the Vaudevillains that she was teaming with. She teamed up with somebody to take on like another heel group. And it's just, and she's shown like a star.
The bad part was it Ruby that they brought up? They brought her up on Raw as a heel, but her last NXT match had not aired yet, where she was working as an underdog face, if I'm not mistaken.
That might have been her. Yeah,
I think it was.
That sounds about right.
And so you saw her come up as this heel. But then the next night or whatever on NXT, you're watching her and she's still working this underdog face, and the crowd is going absolutely insane for her.
She was fighting Sanity. She's fighting Nikki Cross. Sorry, not that. But what Justin's talking about was her fighting Sonya Deville.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Which is weird because that was it. They both fought each other on the NXT after they both debuted on Raw in two different groups, which is really strange.
And again, Ruby was like a red hot face at the time.
Yeah. What I was thinking about was her, Roderick Strong, Ty Dillinger, and No Way Jose against Sanity. And it was like a really good match at a TakeOver.
Jose.
I was like,
no way.
That's what I started thinking. Maybe No Way Jose isn't that bad. Maybe No Way Jose isn't that bad.
No Way Jose was my dude, yo. I miss No Way Jose. I ain't gonna lie. All right. First of all, I don't think no one got a crowd as hyped before they got to the ring as much as No Way Jose. No Way Jose would have the entire arena doing a little fake salsa.
Right.
Or cha-cha in they goddamn seat. Standing up, talking about, no, way, Jose, no, way. That shit used to get it rocking, yo. And, plus, No Way Jose actually wasn't a slouch in the ring.
No, he wasn't a slouch. People forget how big he was.
A big dude.
Oh, yeah.
Yo, he was like 6'4", 275.
Speaking of former
He's got a bad gimmick.
NXT stars that were big motherfuckers that had nothing happen with them. The Authors of Pain are apparently retired and is working regular jobs
at 26 and 28.
How do you fuck up the Authors of Pain? How do you fuck up that group?
Around now.
I'd have told y'all, man. You send them to AEW, you let them join Lance Archer, and you make them the Archers of Pain.
Damn it. I mean, legit. Like, how do you take the Authors of Pain and just like not see what you have with them?
Easy.
Because Paul Ellering.
Exactly.
It's
Justin.
Paul
I'm
Ellering.
getting rid- It's Paul Ellering.
They
It's
replaced
literally
Paul Ellering with Drake Maverick, and he pissed himself, and that was it.
It was Paul
Oh.
Ellering. It's Paul Ellering. The name Paul Ellering and AOP led you to believe that they were the next Legion of Doom. So when he came out with them, you paid attention like, yo, this dude has only managed badasses. So these motherfuckers have got to be badasses.
He didn't have to do anything, man. He just could walk out on the stage, release them to go do whatever they needed to do, say a couple words, and that's it. Because they speak for themselves in the ring. They're
Right.
huge, big ass dudes. You don't need them to say a whole lot. And Paul Ellering didn't have to say a whole lot. Kenny. I can't stand this man.
We the pause police over here.
Paul Ellering didn't have to do a ton, and it worked. But replacing him with Drake Maverick, and then didn't they come up to the main roster trying to talk for themselves for a while?
Their first night on the main roster.
And
The first night on the main roster.
One of them died.
Their first night on the main roster, they sent Ellering away, and they said, we will do this ourselves. And then immediately got put with Drake Maverick.
Didn't they do weren't they like bodyguards when they came back with suits for somebody?
They were supposed to be with Seth, and then one of them died. And then after that, they were done.
And that's the thing, man. You could fit them in any promotion in the world.
I feel like they shouldn't have retired. They should not have retired this early in their wrestling careers. But I could completely understand why they did it, because when one of them would be healthy, the other one would be hurt. They were never, once they hit the main, it was always one or the other was hurt. After a while, that almost goes into Leo Rush. After a while, you're like, fuck this shit. I'm done. I'm tired of being hurt. You just give up when you really shouldn't give up.
I got it. If they go to AEW, Taz would be the person I would like to see match.
They would be the perfect team, Taz.
Well, apparently AEW, they have like talked about it. There were people in AEW that were pushing to have them come to AEW, and they said that the timing wasn't right, that they might explore it later on. Left the door open a little bit, but they didn't seem interested.
They slammed the door shut.
I said, "Fuck it, I'm gonna go be a teacher."
Right, I'm gonna go over here and go do nothing. I'm just gonna live.
One of them, I guarantee, is a telemarketer right now.
One of them is slanging dope. One of them is getting their Franklin Saint on. I'm watching Snowfall, so yeah, one of them is Franklin Saint.
I feel bad for him, man. Like, coming out of NXT, they were like one of the hottest fucking teams
The
in
Franklin
wrestling.
Saint one is rich.
That whole
Like
section, that whole trio of tag teams that got called up, WWE fucked them over.
It was
American
them, the Revival.
A Revival, and American Alpha. That trio got
I won't
called up
even-
at the same time.
I'll discount American Alpha because even though they did pick up early, Jason Jordan's neck.
No. That was not going to happen had he been with Chad Gable.
I believe that 100%. I'm with Mongo on that.
Wrong
100%.
place, wrong time. That's what happened. He'd been fine.
His neck just gave out on him.
No, he had all it was a few bad bumps. That's all it takes.
All it was
And he
being with
wouldn't have
Seth.
to take those.
Being with Seth.
Mhm.
I mean, Jason Jordan's come out on top of
Seth legit has the worst luck with tag team partners. Almost everyone he's ever had has either had to retire or has been fired.
Or had some injury, really injury shit.
Yeah, them too. Ascension was white hot in NXT.
From the start.
Ascension died when they let the old folks beat them up in the middle of the ring.
Right, they were doomed from the start. They tried to do that with the Revival, and the Revival said, "Nah, release us."
I'll be honest, man. I think Ascension was better fitted for NXT. They were never a main roster tag team.
Oh yeah, I agree with that. I agree with
I don't think they were
Ah,
ever a main roster tag.
Back then, when they were up on the main roster, though, that tag division wasn't that strong.
You know who I think was a good tag
Well,
team
it
that got
wasn't,
let
but-
go? The Vaudevillains, man.
Yeah,
My man Simon Gotch just couldn't fucking.
what happened
Simon,
with Gotch? Why did he get released?
I know he was first of all. Wasn't
Well, he
Simon Gotch
fought
actually
the
beating people up backstage,
He
like
lost
legit?
the goat.
Him and Enzo had a bunch of stuff going on,
Oh,
right?
yeah, him and
He lost to the goat.
Oh, he went for Hunico.
Yeah, he lost to the goat. The real GOAT. Fuck. Hey, Ric Flair ain't the GOAT. Hulk Hogan ain't the GOAT. Rock ain't the GOAT. Ain't none of them the GOAT. Hunico is the GOAT.
That
The
motherfucker
real
was
life GOAT. Because he can
motherfucker
knock
was
you out.
in life. Chris,
He the real GOAT.
wait, Chris Jericho might be a close second because they said Chris Jericho put the pause on Brock Lesnar on the plane.
Chris Jericho crazy. He could
They said
and Goldberg.
they said he
And
right.
Goldberg.
Right. They said Jericho put the pause on both Goldberg and Brock.
and then the black GOAT is Booker T because he fought Batista.
Well,
So-
he whooped Batista's ass.
He
He beat Batista's ass, so he the black GOAT.
He fucky up.
All right, so
Booker T actually did time.
Right.
Matt-
See, that's what you gotta understand. When a man do time, he got a lot of anger built up.
Matt, you brought it up. So let's talk about it real quick. Leo Rush also announced his retirement for professional wrestling. He had what was like a shoulder dislocation.
He separated his AC joint.
Mm.
It's not a career ender.
It's
but
not.
I can completely understand why he said, "Fuck this shit."
He said,
I want to hold on. I want to.
There's a different career.
I wanna address that.
Yeah, go ahead. King.
Somebody asked that like before. Oh, I didn't know that type of injury was career ending. Here's the thing.
doesn't have to be.
An injury doesn't have to be career ending for you to say, you know what? Enough is enough. I care more about my body than I do about this.
Any injury can be career ending.
He could, like I said, he could have had a splinter under his goddamn fingernail that he got from help putting the ring together and been like, you know what? This ain't the move for me. Fuck this shit. I'm not with this no more.
That's exactly how I looked at it. I said, even though this isn't a career ender, he brought the point home when he said, I can't even put on a damn shirt, and I can't lift up my newborn son. I was like, that's enough for me.
That right there was
Right.
where it was
That's
like,
enough.
all right, okay, all right.
I look at it for like football. Kenny, I'm sorry for what I'm about to say, buddy. I really am. I think of Patrick. I think of Patrick Willis. Like he didn't have that wasn't a career-ending injury, right, Kenny?
It wasn't.
But he was ready to retire. At the top of his game.
Borland.
Yeah.
The very next person who took his place, Borland, did the same thing. Borland got injured and said, you know what? I'm gonna go work on my family's farm.
Any injury can be career ending if you don't want to continue that career because of the injury. I mean, and you shouldn't question the man's heart. You shouldn't question whether the man cares about wrestling. At the end of the day, he's doing what's right by his family. Like he's doing what's right by his own body. And like if he says it can't, and look, I think he'll probably come back.
On a personal
months, give it a few months before 2021 is over, he's gonna be back. And you got Kenny, you got a Go 49ers shout out.
That's what's up. That's what's up, Eugene.
Niner gang.
That's what's up. 49ers for life, faithful. And 49ers for life, baby. Faithful.
Shout out to the 49ers. They won the only Super Bowl on January 29th. That is my birthday.
What you call it? And even on a personal note, like I play football. And I got a shoulder injury. My doctor told me when I was younger, hey, you can continue playing, or when you get older, you can pick your kids up when you have them. He told me that. I cried. It wasn't a career-ending injury, but when you think of it that way, guess what? I don't regret. I hug my girls every chance I get. I don't regret being able to do that. So I understand what Leo was saying. Like
Exactly.
it doesn't have an injury does not have to be something that permanently damages you to the point where you're deformed for you to say enough is enough.
You don't have to be out here looking like Magnum TA. You don't have to be paralyzed in a car accident.
It doesn't have to be like Sid breaking his leg in the middle of the ring and you thinking, God, I don't think he'll ever come back from that. It can be the smallest injury or it can be a buildup of injuries and you're like, look, man, I'm just tired of having to go through rehab. I'm tired of rehabbing the same injury again and again. I'm tired of going through that process. There's been a couple people where they've pretty much just said, I'm tired of rehab. I think it was Andrew Luck. Andrew Luck was just like, I'm so tired of rehab.
People were pissed at Andrew Luck.
He will be the biggest, in my opinion, he will be the biggest what if, because this man was the heir apparent. He was supposed to be the next Peyton Manning.
And he showed all
putting up the numbers. And he's putting up the numbers.
Oh, yeah, he had it.
Years of getting injuries after injuries. You're getting a lacerated spleen. You're getting a lacerated kidney. You're pissing blood. Come on now. That's going to take a toll on you. You're going year after year in the NFL in pain.
Y'all see that?
I see it.
The Broficial flip flops.
Like Andrew Luck, it came
$40.
Andrew Luck said,
$40 for
money. He said, "Fuck the money. I don't care anymore. I'm retired."
I mean, y'all know I'm a Cowboys fan. I think it's Tony Romo. That dude didn't go out like he went through like 45 injuries with the Cowboys.
Exactly, Eugene. They do.
Really
Yes,
did.
They do.
They do. These guys.
That's another major part. That's your own money.
Yeah,
Right.
It's your own money.
And I don't know if anybody knows this. If you don't have a job and you don't get public assistance for your insurance and you have to pay for insurance out of pocket, that shit is expensive.
Right.
Yeah, I want a job that
surgeries and all that. They paying for that shit themselves unless it's something where the WE is like, you know what?
You go to a hospital and get right. You go to a hospital and have to get a fucking Motrin, and you have to pay for that shit out of pocket. You're looking at close to $800.
a friend of mine just had a kid, and
That's a $30,000 bill easily.
Oh yeah. So the kid needs like baby Prilosec, right, or whatever it's supposed to be. I can't remember what the message was, but $480.
Yeah, the American healthcare system
that's fucking ridiculous. I worked at a pharmacy. I don't remember ever selling that shit for something that pricey. Like it is ridiculous.
but
And I left a job that had healthcare.
Yeah.
I'm shopping right now. I'm telling you right now, I'm doing my best. I've been sick all week. I've not gone to one fucking doctor. I ain't trying to pay that bill.
right.
I ain't going near one.
Reading the statement from Leo Rush, just saying, he's like, yeah, I only have to sit out for a few months. But it's like, yeah, those few months, you're not getting paid. No money is coming into the house because we have to assume that his wife isn't working.
Mhm.
His significant other isn't working. And they have a newborn. And he already has a kid out here. That they already have one other kid. So the household is depending on him. And now everything is frozen for a few months.
Right. And I mean, going back to the Tony Romo point real quick, that man punctured his lung in the middle of a game and kept playing. Kept playing. Didn't care. Just kept playing. So you can't question his toughness, right? But he eventually, he broke his back. Like he broke his collarbone. And I mean, I think there was one other one where he sprained his neck and he was just like, yeah, I'm done, guys. See y'all later.
I'm done.
And that's fine. Like there were other injuries in his career worse than the last one he got, but he was ready to be done after that one.
Because it's an
accumulation.
The future anyway, so he's just like, fuck this. Y'all got Dak. Use him.
And that's exactly what Leo Rush did. Something doesn't have to be career ending.
And Tony has made a second career now out of being in the broadcast booth.
He made all that money back as a commentator.
Right. And he's making as much as he could make as an NFL quarterback as a commentator because he's been good at it. And don't think that Leo Rush couldn't find another job related to wrestling if he wanted to.
Leo's probably going to focus on his music.
Probably so.
He said at the end of his statement that he said, once I'm healed up, I still have contractual obligations to New Japan. So I will appear in New Japan. I honestly feel like give him a few months. He will heal up. He's going to have a change of heart. And he's going to be like, you know what?
Or
I'm
he
not
can
as hurt as
stay.
I said I was.
Or he
Let
can
me
stay
go on a
in.
retirement tour.
Or he can stay in Japan and just be a god over there.
Right.
I mean, there's that. I mean, there's another possibility. He goes over there, wrestles, and he's like, "I'm not ready to give it up," and then he goes to AEW like it was planned, apparently.
Or he does give it up.
Or he decides to retire.
I always think about what Stone Cold always has to say when it comes to retirement. Your body only has so many bumps it can take.
Yeah, they call it
you don't know how many bumps your body can take. Your body will tell you when you've hit that mark.
It's a bump card, I think is what they call it.
You're done.
They call it a bump card, I think.
Yeah. Because Stone Cold says it a lot. He's like, I'm not taking no more bumps. He said, once I hit it, I hit it. I'm not doing no more.
I saw someone that said, how much money do you think they would take for them to bring Stone Cold back as a wrestler? Like, he's not coming back.
That man,
he's done.
To come back to
he's done.
Thought about coming back versus CM Punk, and he got in the ring, he ran the ropes and did all of that. And after he did that whole series of just warm ups, he said, "Nope, I'm not." He said, "I'm not even about to embarrass myself." Some wrestlers are like, "I can come back," but at the same time, they're like, "I can come back, but I'm not about to embarrass myself."
And then
I
you got
want my
Undertaker.
last match to be my last match. Don't nobody want to be going out here looking like Shawn Michaels. Looking like Shawn Michaels and the Triple H versus the Brothers of Destruction.
Hey, speaking of an old man that didn't look bad taking bumps recently, Sting.
His demise greatly exaggerated.
He looked good. Like for an old guy.
Decent. So for people that said Seth Rollins killed him, Seth ain't killed that man. That man is 62 years old. That man pulling Social Security at this point, and he over here getting double paychecks.
But I mean, and that's kind of the thing, though, is like you got people like Sting who don't feel like their body can continue to go and they can continue to wrestle. That's fine, and it's okay that Leo Rush is in his early or late 20s, mid 20s, somewhere in there,
like 26.
Yeah,
right.
It's okay for him to be like, you know what, man.
I'm a chill.
I've taken all these bumps. I've made my money. I've got a music career that I want to focus on. I'm going to go do that. Or if he decides in 6 months that he's like, you know what, I'm going to give it one more go. Let me try this again. Let's see if my body will hold up. And there's really no shame in either one of those situations, whether he continues in retirement or if he comes back. If he comes back, just be happy you get to see that talent continue to grow. And if he doesn't, it's going to be a big what if, but that's okay. Like, I'd rather him be okay and be able to pick up his kids than have to be selfish as a fan and be like, oh, he's not tough or he has no heart. That's not for us to question.
And Eugene hit the nail on the head. Goldberg should have never came back. You're exactly right about that. Goldberg was fine when he came back, when it was versus Brock for the video game and all that shit. Once they put the Universal title on him the first time when he beat Kevin Owens, that's when we were like, okay, this isn't fun anymore. Ever since then, it's never fun. Even when he beat Dolph, it wasn't fun.
That's why Drew kicked his fucking head off.
Right. Well, that's why Braun beat his ass, and then Drew beat his ass. If you think about it, that man ain't beat nobody since. What was it? Since Dolph. Nope, he beat Dolph. Since
the Fiend.
Yeah, he has
since the Fiend. Which is...
Don't even get me started.
That's pissed me and Kenny off.
No, not tonight.
So let's...
I rebuke you. Not tonight.
Let's talk about Against All Odds.
Let's get it.
Yeah.
Boys, we got 2 shows this weekend. Both are coming from our, I would say, this show's 2 favorite brands.
Yeah.
NXT and Impact.
Yeah.
Far and away.
Without a doubt.
Oh, before we do this real quick, Justin, you're my other NWA guy. What about old Mickey James showing up?
Yeah.
And bringing in a all women's pay-per-view for NWA.
And she's not competing in the pay-per-view.
No, she's in charge of it.
Right.
that.
I like it. I think it's good. And I think NWA has an underrated women's division.
Yeah. Honestly, with Serena Deeb being the champ as long
Deeb is leaving, right?
Deeb she signed to AEW. She lost the belt.
Yeah, she lost it at their pay-per-view.
For those of you who don't know who Camille is, you'll be surprised.
Camille Brickhouse.
Pleasantly surprised.
Camille, she was with Aldis for all this time.
She was quiet. She had that quiet gimmick, right, Greg? Before the pandemic, where she just didn't talk,
and no one saw that southern accent coming from her. That was weird.
Yeah, she's good. I'm excited for the all women's pay per view. I think it's a good step for NWA, and I think they're leaning into a division that they have a pretty good hold on. And again, I mean, even with Deeb leaving or Deeb no longer being the champ, I think they're in good hands with Camille. And I'm excited to see where NWA kind of goes from here.
Deeb. I know that much.
Hey, thank you, Serena Deeb, for all the points that you gave Resolution. We thank you for your service.
Bye.
They've got some talent over there in NWA, so I'm excited to see kind of where they go from here. They did the coronation for her tonight, right, Greg? Or was it tonight or last night? Last night. Yeah. They did the coronation for Camille, and she's fantastic as a heel. I think she could be a face at some point, or if she hadn't already flipped. I haven't watched a whole lot since the pandemic, but before the pandemic, she was a phenomenal heel.
Yeah, no, she's going to be great, and I think what they're going to do is they're going to bring in women from other companies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Which would be the smart move, obviously. And I think that's going to be a great way to get people to watch NWA again, because the way that happened before was first off they put the belt on Magnus, then had him fight Cody, and then they brought back the Crockett Cup because everyone knows the Crockett Cup. That shit's it's legendary.
Right.
You know? So do those two things, boom, fans are back. This, along with the fact that WWE just treated Mickey James like dog shit,
Right.
we'll bring in people that want to tell the company to go fuck themselves. You know, like it's gonna the jaded fans, and it's gonna work out. I'm pretty excited about it. There are, but I think it's gonna end up giving not just out of spite. I think it's gonna actually give the NWA a lot of new fans. It's gonna prove Mickey James' point that an all women's show can draw.
Mm-hmm.
Tyrus is over there too now, right?
I believe so.
Yeah.
Tyrus, the Pope.
The Pope is the
he's the television
the
champ.
TV champ. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's a TV champ.
Mm-hmm.
JTG's
over there now. I mean, they've got names that people are gonna know who they are when you go and watch them.
Yeah.
Trevor Murdoch, which
Murdoch still looks 40.
Yeah,
that's because he's finally 40.
He's been 40 for like 30 years.
I really wanted him to win.
I know, man. Me too. I felt I was hoping
for him. But I mean, again, I think you're right, Greg. I think this is going to give a lot of people that maybe aren't paying attention to NWA a chance to go watch them.
How did you watch NWA, guys?
On Fight TV.
Yes.
Some of you watch Ring of Honor. I think it's free on Fight, actually.
Yeah.
So you just go there every Tuesday night, 6 p.m. Eastern, I think. And that's it. It's good. It's good. I think it's worth the investment. And before the pandemic, it was one of the better shows out there.
I thought at the time
they did their job in getting y'all to want Trevor Murdoch to win. That was the whole. The whole thing. They got you to want Trevor Murdoch to win.
I thought NWA, and you can correct me if I'm wrong on this, Greg, but I thought NWA before the pandemic, and again, I wasn't watching a ton of of Impact at the time. I thought it might have been the best one going. Like it was 1 hour. It was a fun little show. I didn't have to. Maybe it was just I didn't have to invest a ton of time into it. And
I think that's the biggest. That's the biggest thing. That's the biggest thing. Like what made NXT so popular was it being 1 hour.
But also, here's the thing that NWA did that I loved, and I know Justin loved it. And I think it's only if you really like watching old territory wrestling, they would make up like fucking fake advertisements.
yes. Oh,
it's
like a rent shop or something.
Yeah,
it's like a restaurant and rent shop.
Yeah, I've seen that.
And it was like
rent shop because he had T-shirts made.
Yeah, and it was filmed in like that grainy ass like old video like style.
Come get you a grilled cheese and get your oil change.
Like it was so stupid, but it reminds you of like those old school commercials that we actually played, and it's just. I don't know, man. It just they had a good thing going with the comedy and the seriousness of it.
It had question mark was really good. Rest in peace.
Oh, God, man, I really
that
wish
question mark. It was him and Aaron Stevens as a tag team together, and he was talking about karate, and like it was just hilarious. And like Aaron Stevens was like, "What the fuck is this dude doing? Why is he?" He's like, "All right, well, we're winning, so all right,
that's all that matters. We're winning." But like it had a comedy, but then like NWA treated everything in that ring like a sport, real serious, and like they found a really good middle ground for everything. And I think they're getting there again.
I think Mickie James is big for them.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And it shouldn't surprise anyone, I guess, that she did that since husband is Nick Aldis. But
I was going to say she's Mrs. Aldis.
She could have gone anywhere. She could have gone to AEW. She could have gone to Impact. Could have done anything. She decided to go to NWA and do something big. And I think this is going to be great for not just the NWA, but wrestling as a whole.
Right, because I think AEW has a great partnership with NWA. I think this will spill over.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. If I were them, I would put some up and coming women along with.
Oh, they probably do. Just put them all on fucking Dark and Elevation.
I'd like to see Jade go over there and have a good match on that pay-per-view.
Mm-hmm. Red Velvet.
Red Velvet would be fun.
Diamante's fun. I pick Layla Hirsch over a lot of people.
Yeah,
I love Layla Hirsch. I think she's great. But all right, let's get into some predictions. So for Against All Odds, Impact Wrestling is Saturday. I think it's at 7:00. The first match we're going to do is Fire and Flavor versus Kimberly and Susan. Anyone not going Fire and Flavor?
Versus Kimberly and Susan?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I ain't got nothing to say.
Yeah, Fire and Flavor's winning that, right?
Yeah, I mean, you know what? Maybe not. Maybe they do something weird with Kimberly and Susan. You never know. But I think it's Fire and Flavor.
Fire and Flavor.
Rich Swann versus W. Morrissey. Anyone not going W. Morrissey?
Yeah, I'm going W. Morrissey, which, again, this goes back to, man, Impact.
Knows how to make you care about
somebody. Knows how to make you care.
Right.
Yeah, WWE couldn't do jack shit with big cast, but man, they had W. Morrissey for 3 weeks.
You got him against Rich Swann. And the big thing for me with Rich Swann is he's just coming out of the Omega thing. If he loses to W. Morrissey, it's not a big deal. He's still one of their best. He's still one of their best guys out there.
Mm-hmm.
Impact keeps you elevated when you lose a belt. You don't drop down too far whenever you lose. Satoshi Kojima versus Joe Doring.
I'm going Pimp Daddy.
I'll go to the New Japan guy.
Yeah, give me the New Japan guy.
Okay. I'm the only motherfucker going Pimp Daddy.
Yeah, it's just I'm gonna go Kojima. I think he's there to get a New Japan win. That's gonna come back and bite me in the ass, I'm sure. Mm-hmm. Diana Purrazzo versus Rosemary. Anyone not going Diana? All right. Violent by Design versus Decay.
That's gonna be a good ass match.
It is. I think Decay has a shot.
I'm going BBD.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's why I picked Joe Doring earlier. It's going to be a clean sweep.
Okay.
Yeah, that does make sense.
So the whole thing about this one, if you don't watch Impact, is Violent by Design is Eric Young, Joe Doring, Rhino, and Cody Deaner. Deaner has lost damn near every match he's been in since he's joined the group.
Yep.
And Decay has said, hey, you wouldn't be confident about those tag titles if Deaner was the one defending them. So now Deaner's defending them with Rhino. So will this be the match where Deaner finally wins?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll go Violent by Design.
All right. Justin?
Yeah, give me Violent by Design.
Fuck, I'm going to go right this shit. I know.
I'm gonna go Decay. I think we get a quick title swap.
One of the matches with them Violent by Design fools gonna get switched.
The new number one contender for Josh Alexander. It's a 5-way match between Rohit Raju, Petey Williams, Trey Miguel, Ace Austin, and Chris Bay.
Oh God!
I hate Impact.
This is the match that will fuck all of us over.
I'm going to Trey.
Going Trey? All right. I'm going Chris Bay.
That's probably the right call.
I'm gonna go. Fuck. Give me Petey, just because he been dick riding Josh.
My other guess was Petey, actually. My other guess was Petey. Because I was thinking they give it to Petey just to have Petey, get a good match with Josh and then lose.
I'm gonna go Petey.
I don't.
Yeah, this is the one.
Fuck it, I'll go with the motherfucker. I don't care.
For new followers, the motherfucker is the man that tried to literally bang Trey Miguel's mom, Ace Austin.
My spirit animal. My spirit animal.
Kenny's spirit animal, Ace, the motherfucker Austin. Last up, Kenny Omega versus Moose. Now, I know we all would want Moose to win this.
Omega.
But does Moose win this?
No.
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 Now, the report was that Moose, what he apparently signed a new deal with Impact, though he says that's not true. The deal is he signed a multi-year deal with them.
I'm just saying, Almost already and broke made the record for being because he was already gone. He has not made it. I'm just saying, Moose is out here trying to be that guy that literally that basically integrates from one fantasy game to the other fantasy game.
All right. Moose
out here trying to be NWO.
That's what he really trying to do. We already got Lashley.
He out here trying to be NWO.
So you're all going to Omega?
Yeah, we're going to go Omega.
We'll go Omega.
So 1, 2, 3. So only 3 matches actually matter. The Violent by Design matches, then the X Division match, because that's a fucking who knows.
It's a clusterfuck.
It's gonna be fucking Rohit. Watch.
It might be,
and it's not gonna be mad about that either. It's not about to say it's not a bad thing.
Not mad at that at all. All right, next up is TakeOver. We're gonna start with the North American and Tag Team title match.
Which is an excellent way to have a 6-man championship.
Also, by the way, fuck this match for the other fantasy game. This is some bullshit. I hope fucking Team SmackDown loses their fucking titles and Raw wins them shits.
Why do you think I'm going with my pick, Matt?
Go to hell, Matthew.
I want fucking Team Raw. I want want Legato to win this shit. That's who I'm picking. I don't care if I'm out of turn. Legato gonna win this shit.
You go to hell, Matthew.
I think Legato might win.
I was out. I was at Walmart when I saw that shit. I said, I know y'all fucking lying. I know y'all fucking lying. What the hell do you mean you're gonna have a 6-man with both titles on the line? That is some attitude era shit.
That's some cool shit. I like it.
I like it.
I like it too.
Raquel Gonzalez versus Ember Moon. Now, does anyone not pick Raquel Gonzalez?
If you pick Ember Moon, you smoking.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Good shit.
Like, let's be honest, man.
Smoking nigga.
No, I'm about to say, ain't no fucking way Kenny picks Ember Moon for anything. Oh shit!
I'm just playing. Hell to the fucking that like
Mercedes Martinez versus Xia Li.
I'm going to Big X.
NWO picked her up for a reason, damn it.
Yeah, Xia Li wins up.
Yeah,
Cheap points, bitches.
And there's a rumor that Miss All Red Everything, Eva Marie, is going to show up on Raw with some muscle, and it's either going to be
her
or Piper Niven. And I think Mercedes makes a bit more sense.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Mercedes doesn't have to have a green card.
Yeah, that's pretty sure it's Mercedes just for that reason alone. Actually, it's the travel's easier.
Right. And then London start a new coronavirus that they're going through right now. In England and Europe going through like a new coronavirus or some shit too. So
no idea.
Greg,
keep that shit over there.
Sorry to interrupt on the predictions. I was looking at Fight TV. Looks like NWA Power. You got to have a subscription now. It's $5. It's $4.99. So $5.
That's half of Netflix.
I know, but $5 for I think it's per month, and you get all the Power episodes.
Or you can just find recaps on the internet.
Yeah, that's also possible.
Twitter is a wonderland, so you can find anything.
That's
on Twitter.
true. But I kind of want to support NWA.
I do too, but man, that's not where I want to support it.
I mean, I'm over here trying to get the Hulu bundle. So I just have Hulu, but I kind of want Disney Plus. So
well, I got that bundle
because my favorite. Because as Kenny and Justin would know, our favorite scam artists ain't paying for it no more. So
that's a shame.
That's damn shame.
Next up is Cameron Grimes versus LA Knight for the $1 Million Championship.
It's a ladder match.
To the moon, baby.
I love it.
This match could literally. I'm so happy in the fantasy aspect that none of the 3 teams in the top rope fantasy game picked either of these fools up. Because this match could literally go either way. I can see LA Knight with that title. I can see Cameron Grimes with
Neither one of them are winning the title. Ted DiBiase is winning the title.
Oh, God.
You're picking Ted DiBiase?
Ted DiBiase is going to win the title. It's going to be like...
Talking -6.
That man is going to walk in that ring just like Otis did. One of them is going to drop it. He's going to catch the title and throw his head back and start laughing and declare himself the winner.
You son of a bitch.
Right.
Matt,
I'm going... Damn you, Justin.
Eat a dick, Justin.
You know they would do that.
You did what I usually do.
That's why I'm pissed off about it.
Try to make you think, and now you're making me think. That's not fun.
Shit, fuck. This motherfucker did kick a ball from a 10-year-old bouncing a basketball.
He did.
Damn you, baby Yoda. I'm picking Cameron Grimes either way. It's grime time.
I'm going to LA Knight.
I'm going to the moon, baby.
Night.
I think LA Knight does it. I think LA Knight wins it here, and then Cameron Grimes wins it later.
See, this is some bullshit. Fuck you, NXT, because I'm gonna let you in behind the scenes. NWO was talking. We was talking like, man, you want to pick up Cameron Grimes? Nah, he just feuding. I don't think they'll bring the $1 Million Championship into it, and then y'all fuckers decide to bring the $1 Million Championship into it. This could have been for fucking title points, unofficially, but officially. But Fuck y'all, NXT. Fuck you, Triple H. Some bullshit. We could have been trying
Are we
to
gonna count that title?
Huh?
Are we gonna count that title?
If NXT counts that title, we're gonna count the title.
It's me. I'm the storekeeper. I don't give a damn. I don't know the store has the title.
All right, here comes the final match of the weekend. Karrion Kross defending against Kyle O'Reilly, Adam Cole, Johnny Gargano, and Pete Dunne. Like
Cross.
Kenny said, I'm gonna go with the X. I'm gonna go Cross.
Somebody is
Cross
dying
wins it.
during
Yeah.
that match.
Cross is winning it. Did we pick the MSK match?
Oh,
Yeah.
no, yeah. I
Yeah,
picked
we all-
Legato.
Legato.
Oh, I'm not going Legato. My bad.
Okay.
Yeah, Team SmackDown better not go Legato.
Yeah, I can't go
Bullshit-ass
Legato.
match. Some bullshit. NWO only has one match during this whole pay-per-view.
I'm going to go Adam Cole.
I'm going to go Cross, but this is the perfect match for some fuckery to happen and have Karrion Kross not lose and then magically show up on the main roster. And
That's
murder
why
someone.
That's why I'm picking Adam Cole. I'm thinking Karrion Kross gets called up, but he loses without losing, like Matt said. I'm thinking he kills somebody, and then Adam Cole throws him into the turnbuckle, and then Adam Cole sneaks the win.
You know what? Adam Cole did just randomly get himself inserted into this match.
And and beat the shit out of what you call it along the way doing it.
And then, fantasy sidebar, I'm pretty sure all of us bitched everyone except for Manga, who has the champion. Because we were like, fuck that. You're not about to
I don't think we own any. I don't think we own anybody in this match.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
you
went,
own those.
I went ballsy as fuck on this one. I went all in on Cross.
I think Greg owns Gargano, right?
Oh, fuck that. I made sure I benched Peter Dunne and Best Buy KOR. I
We
benched
own-
his
we own-
Best
we own
Buy
Adam
lying
Cole.
ass. So,
Yeah, so we'll see.
Oh.
We'll see.
I'll stick with Cross for now.
Matt, who you going?
go Cross, but if Finn shows up and beats his ass, I mean, I'm just saying.
All right, well, shit, boys. That's both shows predicted at
Look at that.
fucking record time.
That is definitely record time.
We got so now we know who always holds us the fuck up. It's Mike.
Watch Mike this wins.
He might. So yeah, what do y'all think is going to be the best show of the weekend and the best match of the weekend?
I wouldn't be shocked if TakeOver was not that great, and then that main event of that Fatal 5-Way is what makes the night, what makes that whole show. I feel like NWA Impact will put on the better show, but that will be overshadowed because of that main event of TakeOver.
I'm gonna go that MSK and Bronson versus Legato is the match of the weekend.
Someone is definitely getting their neck broke during that match.
Me too.
I asked him the
I'm calling Reed, MSK, and Legato. Let me just say this. Here's my thinking on this one. Legato wins, lose them back to MSK. MSK loses the hero.
Oh, God. All those points for Team Raw. Yes, I have to take it to fantasy, but yes. All those points. It's all right, because next week we're going to be predicting Hell in a Cell, and then NWO, yeah, we racking up all them damn points.
And then Nikki Cross is going to be...
And we got Lashley. Yeah, we still got both world champs. It's a new season, but we still got both world champs.
Somehow that happened.
Out here with the hoes.
We out here with 3 champs, baby.
They don't want to call them the
We out
hoes
here
on
with 3
TV.
champs.
3 champs.
Yeah, because we got Bianca too, bitch.
Yeah.
Watch Nikki Cross get inserted in that match and then beat Rhea and Charlotte.
What? She can go ahead. Y'all can take that -6. We ain't.
I'm not saying I want to. I'm just saying watch it happen. I would hate it, but watch it happen. Yeah, man. I think Bronson, MSK, and Legato is going to be the show stealer.
No, you know what? that ladder match. It's a ladder match.
I was getting ready to say that's my pick for the show stealer of the weekend.
I'm with you, Kenny.
Cameron Grimes and
You motherfuckers don't even like LA Knight.
I don't, but I like fucking Cameron Grimes, and he puts on the fucking show.
We are supporters. Who is the only team who have picked up Cameron Grimes? NWO. We support Cameron Grimes. Not right now. Not right now. It is grime time over here. We are the equal opportunity support team. We have gender. We are supporting gender right now. We don't hinder him. When we get tired of him, we will pick up Cameron Grimes.
Knight.
Lame ass Knight.
Also,
Listen,
Greg, give me LA Knight in that match, by the way.
Yeah, okay. All right.
And you know what? I'm like, listen, I don't like LA Knight, that's for sure. But Cameron Grimes puts on fucking matches.
Right.
Yeah.
And he actually rich.
Yeah, LA Knight's good, man. Y'all keep sleeping on that man.
Keep sleeping on LA Knight. It's fine.
They screwed him with his name. If it wasn't for his name, everybody would be excited for LA Knight. I'm going to stand by that.
No.
Look, y'all can hate LA Knight all you want to. It's going to come around where you both realize. Y'all going to realize that me and Justin are right.
No.
This happened.
I just like Cameron Grimes because that man actually bought GameStop stock and is actually a millionaire now. So I'm out here trying to support millionaires.
I've never been so happy for someone I never knew just hitting it rich on stocks more than I am for Cameron Grimes. Like I've never been like,
he was like, "Oh no, this isn't a gimmick. I actually hit on.
I'm
GameStop.
rich. I'm loaded. I've never just been like, it's good for them. But like for Cameron Grimes.
Good for him.
That man said, he literally said, he was like, yeah, I just got into the stock market and watched YouTube videos, and I got in on GameStop when it was low. So, yeah, I hit big. I was like, damn.
This might be record time for the podcast this week.
It really might.
All right. Are we going to do anything for the shows this weekend at all?
We'll talk about it. We'll see.
Talk about it.
We'll see.
So, I guess, it is fucking record time. God, it's only 10 o'clock. Jesus. If you want to follow along with anything we do, you can go to facebook.com/undertheringpod or twitch.tv/undertheringpod, which most of you are here at right now. You can also follow me on Twitter at GregBushSK. We will keep posting stuff about this. We might do a thing for, Against All Odds or TakeOver. It depends. Everybody has crazy weekends right now. And I think that's about it. Anything else I need to say?
AEW and SmackDown are this Friday, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you can watch SmackDown, and if you have cable or if you have other ways to watch AEW, you can stream AEW. It's literally right after SmackDown, so you can get you 4 hours of wrestling from 8 to 12. So
and you can go watch 205 Live.
Right. You can watch the Battle of 205 Live versus AEW Dynamite.
AEW got 205 Live in the ratings. I don't know.
I'm gonna tell you this right now. I'm gonna tell you this right now.
We're making up ratings now.
I'm looking at the
everybody can 205 Live, 6 million views.
I'm looking at the weather. It's gonna be 75 degrees and sunny here in NYC on Friday. Ain't nobody in
9,000 degrees here, Kenny.
Ain't nobody watching no damn AEW. I tell you that.
It's gonna be 9,000 degrees here.
Well, that's because you live in West Africa. Yeah. Okay.
I walked out the door this morning at 6 a.m. to go for a walk with Copper.
It is
my balls immediately drenched in sweat.
Bro, it is 90 degrees at 10 a.m.
It's bullshit.
It is brutal.
Sucks.
No one told you hot
yet. It is 70
no one told you
here in Louisville. So
no one told you to live next to the equator.
Look, I'm sorry that you were born here.
I was born here. I never choice.
If I could have been born in Canada, I would have been born in Canada, Kenny.
Yeah, I got my free health care.
I ain't gonna say nothing. It's 83 degrees right now, and it's fucking 10 o'clock out here. So it's hot in the motherfucking here too.
It's like 800 degrees here. Don't you worry.
It's a balmy 75 here. It's probably 75 in my apartment right now, so I need to turn the air on.
It's like 96 in this motherfucker right here. But Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, thank you for watching the Under the Ring podcast. We will catch you same time, which is around 8-ish.
Every Wednesday.
8-ish every
We'll
Wednesday.
be here around 8 o'clock. Let's be here.
Around 8-ish. Around some sort of like that motherfucker around 8:15-ish. Around that motherfucking time. We'll be there.
You'll catch us.
We be there. Maybe there. You know what I mean? Be like be kind of like your local city bus. It says the schedule when we get there around that motherfucking time. Like,
Right. We'll be there.
We'll be there.
Lookout. We'll be
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, we're the city buses of podcasts. That's a great plug. For everybody else here at Mongo, thanks for listening to the Under the Ring podcast. We'll see you guys next time. See ya.
Chuck fucking
Call me
Norris.
daddy.